Hey everybody, welcome back to Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff. For those of you who might remember my sofa table that I made last year, for the top of it, I used a big 4/4 slab of maple that I had up on the shelf. And I actually have two more of those. But if you remember in that project, that 4/4, actually over 4/4 piece of maple, I had to take that thing down to like 5/8 of an inch in order to get it flat enough to make into a tabletop. So I've been thinking about what I can do with these other two slabs because they're just twisted and warped and not really good for much as slabs. So since I just made an Etsy store, I've decided to take one of them anyway and just break it into pieces and make some charcuterie boards with the maple as the base of it because there's some nice cool figuring and stuff through them. So I'm going to use mainly maple in a batch of charcuterie boards and accent it with some other strips of stuff that I've got laying around. And that's what we're going to do today. So I've already got a video on making charcuterie boards on the channel. I'll put it up here in case you want to go see that one. This one's going to be making a big slab of maple into numerous charcuterie boards, accenting it with probably walnut and some sort of mahogany. So let's grab a slab down and we'll bust it up and see how many we can get out of it. That could be fun. I'm going to stock an Etsy store. Okay, so if we take a look at this slab, I mean, it's twisted from corner to corner like a solid 2 inches. When you press one corner down, the other corner is up. A solid 2 inches. So if I was to try and flatten this thing and use it as a slab, I would end up with essentially nothing. So that's why I'm doing this to the wood before you get all angry that I'm taking a nice big wide board of maple and chopping it up like this. What I'm aiming for, I think, is as many 16 to 18 inch pieces of wood as I can. So in order to do that, I'm gonna just kind of put out my tape measure and then angle across there. I'm not really a big live edge person either, and it's got this big live edge bit. It's got a big crack with live edge happening down at the other end. So I'm gonna just cut that off and start doing, I'm going to lose some off the edge there too. Let's say we're going to come in about 8, somewhere around there like that. We're going to cut out this because that goes right through, that crack goes right through to about here underside, so this is all waste. And we're going to do 18 inches. About there, and we're just gonna go through the piece, start chopping out decent sized pieces of wood, as many as we can get in about that size, maybe a little skinnier, maybe a little fatter and narrower, and basically try to get as much wood as we can out of it. We're gonna chop it out, well, either on the bandsaw or with jigsaw, and then we'll have pieces that we can start processing. That's the idea. But the cool thing is the reason this board is all warped and wonky is because it's got some really cool like bark inclusions and stuff that I'm going to be cutting out. But those things make for really interesting figure around them. So there's going to be a lot of pieces of this stuff that's super cool looking once it's all flat and smooth and whatnot. So okay, so here's where we're at. Here's what I think is going to be the optimization of this board. That is essentially a full charcuterie board right there. I'll put a couple of strips of something in it and it'll be good. So we're going to call that one. The up here along this edge, we've got about 38 or so inches. That's about 5 inches wide. So with a couple of accent strips, I can get 8-inch wide board charcuterie boards out of those. So we'll call that 2 and 3. Ignore that line. It goes to there, goes to this knot and the start of this crack. And then over here we got essentially another full one. It's a little skinnier. I think it's about 7 inches, but it's a little longer as well. And that'll be one full thing. So we'll call that number 4. Okay, then down here we got another full one. It's a 16 by 8 or so. So we'll call that 5. And then I've got a little skinny strip here that's about 2 inches. It's long and skinny. And then another one up there. It's about the same. So those two will go together with some accent strips in the middle of them. So we'll call it, what are we on? That was 5. So this is 6 and 6. And then up here in this little bit, I'm going to try to get a set of coasters out of that. So that's where it was 6 charcuterie boards and a set of coasters, in theory, out of this big slab. Let's get breaking it down. Well, there we go. We got another 6-pack of charcuterie boards made mostly out of a big twisted warped slab maple. Uh, so those will be going up on the Etsy store. I will leave a link down below in the description and possibly a pinned comment for where you can go to get your hands on one of those. Or you can possibly win this guy right here. This one I thought was maybe a little bit too small to cut a handle hold into, do the fanciness. So I beveled the edges to 30 degrees like I do with some of my other ones. And this one is going to be a Patreon exclusive giveaway over on my Patreon page. So there'll be a link to that down below as well. Everyone who is supporting me over there will get entries into the draw for this that will happen on Canada Day, July 1st, 2020. You will get one entry into the draw for every $1 you are invested in the channel. So if you're a $3 Patreon person, you get 3 entries. If you're a $25 patron, you'll get 25 entries. And I will do that draw over on Patreon on January 1st. Yeah, that's when I'll do it. July 1st for everybody that's helping me out over there. So check the link, see if there's a tier that you're interested in helping me out, and get a few entries into this draw. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye for now.